You've probably heard about Canada's $15 billion sale of armoured vehicles to Saudi Arabia that was announced in 2014. To be clear, I am no fan of the Saudis, and I think it is fair to ask why we are supporting a regime that is so brutal, so misogynistic. It is in many ways the least free country in the world, with the possible exception of North Korea. So there's a debate to be had, and it's a debate because this sale would sustain 3,000 manufacturing jobs for the deal's 14-year length. It's important to remember that Canada has been selling arms to the Saudis for decades, rightly or wrongly, through both conservative and liberal governments. This also is not unique to Canada. Western defense companies want to sell to the Saudis in part because they have a ton of cash to spend. Should we cancel the recent sale to the Saudis because it is a backwards dictatorship that adheres to the strictest and most puritanical form of Sunni Islam? Because lashings, stonings, public beheadings are all commonplace for simple deeds? The kingdom recently advertised for new executioners to, among other things, lob off the hands of thieves. There's no question the Saudis have an abysmal human rights record. But the stark political reality is that no party is going to advocate canceling a massive contract that provides thousands of well-paying jobs to skilled workers, especially given how hard Western Ontario's manufacturing sector has been hit in recent years. Yesterday, Gerald Butts, Justin Trudeau's chief advisor, in a tweet mocked the Conservatives with reference to the Saudi deal. This isn't the first time he's taken to Twitter to do this. This time he was criticizing them for having not completed a human rights assessment ahead of the Saudi Arabia deal. A foreign affairs spokesperson did respond, saying that the work was ongoing for a report in 2015, but his attack is hardly about this report. He and the Liberals are and have been rightly critical of doing business with the kingdom, but would a Liberal government cancel that sale? Because if not, his criticism is hollow. Trudeau was asked a few months ago in an interview with Blackburn News whether it is worth overlooking Saudi Arabia's human rights abuses to protect jobs in London. Watch his response.
Obviously, good jobs are important, but the Prime Minister needs, in this case, as in many other cases, to demonstrate a greater level of frankness and transparency than he has.
Notice he wouldn't state his own position on Saudi Arabia. He just accused the PM of not being frank enough. I wonder why. The reality is that the Saudis have power through their oil wealth, and they use that oil wealth to fund the exportation of Wahhabi Islam, which is the violent, intolerant, most puritanical form of Islam espoused by the ruling family. They've poured around $100 billion over the last 3 or 4 decades into exporting Wahhabism. The best thing we can do, in my opinion, is to undermine their energy dominance with sources like the oil sands or fracking for shale gas, non-OPEC sources, to reduce our dependence so that we aren't left in the difficult situation of deciding whether we care about Saudi money and oil more than our own values.